Okay, I apologize in advance for any and all awkward angles in this video, but you know, I don't have time to refilm it, and even if I did, I just don't really care that much. I mean, I care about you, but I think that you don't care that much. Like, and if you do, you're not in the right place. What I'm trying to say is that looks don't matter all that much, right? Hello, it's Doris with Aldi Books, and I wanted to talk to you about Storygraph. I'm very excited. I'm in China now and don't have a very sizable physical TBR, but I've found the joy of adding books to my shelves virtually via Storygraph. I joined right before the beginning of the year and I'm loving it. My name is Doris Sander on there, DorisSander. And thanks to a lovely viewer, I realized that you have to turn on friend request ability, so I have done so. So if you could find me over there, I can't find people yet. I haven't figured it out. So if you could find me over there so that we could be friends, so I'll have, the BookTube community as a resource, I would super appreciate it. But I've been thinking that it would be so fun to do a Storygraph haul. And I meant to do this in January to show you all the books I've added to my shelves virtually since joining. And now it's February and it's gotten kind of overwhelming. There's a lot of books on there. So I'm just going to show them. I was going to set it up on the overhead projector and be all cool, but that didn't look as cool as I envisioned in my head. The lighting was horrible and the distancing factor wasn't right, and yeah, it just didn't work. So here we are at my desk with my laptop. You do what you can do in life, and I'm having fun, so I hope this is okay with you. So let me know which ones of these I should which ones I should dive into right away, because I'm excited about a lot of them. And a few of them I can't really remember why I added them even already, and it's only been since January. So yeah, let me know what you think of any of these. And I loved it when I did my literary book haul on my physical shelves and you told me which ones to read, and The Trees was brilliant. And so the next two for that are The Heart is a Lonely Hunter, and I think Sparrow is the name of it. Anyway, let me know which ones of these I should read first. And here they are. So just this morning I added Octavia Butler because I watched her Great Authors tag, and it just reminded me that I still have not read Octavia Butler, and I think I'm the only one on BookTube, so added that one. Grady Hendrix, I just watched Charlotte from, I don't know if it's Tired Mama Blooms now or another. Anyway, I'll try to tag these people below. But I love me some Grady Hendrix, and she enjoyed his most recent, so I had to add that one. Jade City, this was recent too. I can't remember where I saw that one. Sorry, if I remember I'll add her as well. But I want some fantasy on my bookshelves, and I've heard this is a good series, and I think it might be a Chinese American author possibly, and I'm trying to read more of those this year for obvious reasons. This one is, I can't see the title. Oh, The Whispering Muse by Laura Purcell. I think this one just popped up as a suggestion, and I also love Laura Purcell a lot. So, women eating, this is another one that I've seen on British Channel, although someone else recently mentioned not liking it. So, that's a mixed bag. I got to investigate that one some more to see if it's a me book. The Guncle, I know I saw this one on not Joel, sorry, Greg. On Greg from Supposedly Fun with Joel, featuring Joel. I know they both love this one. I may have seen it other places as well, but that looks like a treat. Sorry, my lighting's bad. I hope it's good for you. Oh, Quiet. I've never read this one, but you know, being an introvert, someone, I think in real life, mentioned this one. I mean, I knew about it years ago from one of my librarians at the high school, but I might read that sometime. Horse by an author I love, whose name I can't remember, Geraldine Brooks. I've seen this one several places recently. I think it's on the BookTube Prize as well, but I really like Geraldine Brooks. Why We Run by, is that Bernd Heinrich? Yes. So we read this author for Book Naturalist in January and really loved In the Maine Woods. So I was looking at his backlist because he talks about ravens a lot. He's done studies on them. And so I wanted to read that book as well and saw this one. And, you know, I run a little tiny bit. So I thought that would be interesting as well. I think, is this one? Yeah. Mind of a Raven is the one also by Bernd Heinrich that I wanted to read. My Own Country. I believe Abraham Verghese. I've read one of these, his more, anyway, I've read one of his and really enjoyed it. And this one of my friends on Facebook that's a university librarian mentioned it. So it's set in small town Tennessee, but during the AIDS epidemic. And then Cutting for Stone, I believe it's the same author, but I believe this one is a fiction that's also good. So Queer, A Graphic History. I think this may have popped up as a suggestion with graphic novels because I read quite a few of those in December. So it popped up as a suggestion for me. And then Babel by R.F. Kuang. I read the first of her popular trilogy and I liked it, but it was a little too dark for me, so I just didn't continue with it. I wasn't sure if I was liking the plot and stuff. And I think this one might be darker. And I think that Heidi and Britta gave it mixed reviews, but I might try it because I like that translating aspect. You know, being an ESL teacher sounds really interesting to me. And I'm not sure if this one is, I think there might be some Chinese vibes in this one as well. Let me know. But I think maybe that would be good for my project. And then Nupaming. This was from, I think it's Untrained Librarian, a recent video of hers that I watched. She's one of my newer channels that I've started watching. I'll link her below as well. She suggested this author, and this sounded like the one that I would vibe with the most. And Brown Girl, Brownstones. I can't remember if I heard about this one. I think maybe from Dee Dee from Brown Girl Reading, possibly Karen from Run Right Reads, but I think Dee Dee. Who's the author? Paul Marshall. I've seen it recently. Heaven is a Place on Earth by Adrian Shirk. I have no idea where that one came from. But it sounds good. And we're not wanting to go down anymore. Let me recalibrate my mouse. Okay. Susanna Clark, Piranesi. I've seen this a lot of places. Greg from Bookish most recently. I think Britta as well last year. Sounds good. One that I would like. And then I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. This is everywhere right now. And I was a big iCarly fan. Gabriel he wasn't a teen yet, tweens, like 10 or 11, and when this show was popular, and I just loved it. I don't know if he loved it as much as I did, but he humored me and watched it so that I could, have an excuse to watch it. Women in Science. Can't remember where this one popped up, but obviously. The Girl with the Louding Voice. I saw this a lot last year and really wanted to get to it, and I can't remember where it's popped up recently to remind me, but yeah. The Gene, this is, and The Emperor of All Melodies, this is Mukherjee. And I just read A Song of the Cell and really loved it. So he's another science author that I'll be reading all of his works. Codebreaker. Britta and Heidi read this one last year and highly recommend it. I really like microbiology for some reason. I don't know, but I really am into that. Cockroaches. I heard about this a lot 4 or 5 years ago and had it on my handwritten list, and Heidi has read it again recently and said it's fabulous, so definitely. And then Beloved Beasts, another Heidi Britta read. I'm really drawn to their reads, obviously. Puppy Show by Leone Ross. This one I know was from Karen from Run Right Reads. Sorry, I'm recalibrating again. And I've lost my mouse. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I think this one is a Caribathon possibility. So happy to have that one. Gentleman in Moscow. I've heard this is the best one. I have Lincoln Highway by Immortals here physically, but I've heard that this one is the best. And I read Rules of Civility when I first got on BookTube, and it was fine, but I think it suffered from the hype factor because I didn't really totally love it. It wasn't as brilliant as I wanted it to be. Oh God, Muse of Nightmares. Sorry, I read the first one in this duology 3 or 4 years ago also, and just have never gotten to the second, and I don't know why, because I just really loved the first one. It was so good. I think because when I read the first one, the second one was not out yet. I had to wait like a year for it to come out, and then life got away from me or something. But I may even read the first one again before I tackle this one. And then Razorblade Tears. I heard brilliant things about this one. Sounds so good. Invisible Women. This one I'd heard about and been interested in previously, but it's actually in my school library here, so that triggered me putting it on Storygraph to remind myself. We Need New Names. I've heard Sean talk about this book so much. It's his all-time favorite, so I definitely need to read it, especially after reading Glory recently by the same author. I'm really loving that one, but this one is different style of writing, but I still really want to read it. Hex. I saw this one on Heather from Soggy Expats channel, and it just really captured my attention, like so much so that I wanted to read it immediately. But it's not available digitally for me yet. I think, like, not just that I would have to wait for it, it's just not there. So I think it's not published in the US yet. And like libraries aren't like booktubers, they don't snag books from the UK before they're published in the US via. I haven't even bought anything in so long, I don't even remember where I used to do that from. Sorry. This one, Lessons in Chemistry, sounds absolutely delightful. And obviously, I would want to read that right now when I'm teaching chemistry. Actually, I have this queued up. I'm on hold at the library for this one to read it with Heidi and Katie as soon as I get it. So, this one, Cinnamon Bun, it may be a graphic novel. I think this is another one that popped up as a suggestion on Storygraph when I was reading all of those graphic novels. The Cold Canyon Fire Journals. This is also somewhat of a graphic novel, and this is a woman who I follow on Instagram for her artwork, her art journaling. So excited to read that one. Mooncakes. This, I think, is another graphic novel suggestion. So let me know about Cinnamon Buns and Mooncake if you've read those. The Night Ship. I absolutely adore Jess Kidd. Sorry, readjusting my mouse again. I absolutely adore Jess Kidd. Adore. So I've read all of hers. So I'm going to read this one as soon as I get my little hands on it. I think Britta's going to read this one with me because she loves Jess Kidd too. And Jane Goodall, Through a Window, My 30 Years with the Chimpanzees of Gambie. So we read Shadow of Man for December, I think. I don't remember, but we read it last year for Women Naturalists. Book Naturalists. And I loved it. Okay, Shadow of Man was so brilliant, and this is the sequel. So like that's another one. As soon as I finished it, I wanted to read the next one because it was just so good. So I have that one on the list. Demon Copperhead. Love me some Barbara Kingsolver. And she's an author where I just adore her. Like, I don't always love all her books because sometimes she goes off into the weeds with her themes, but I still love her and enjoy reading her. I also concluded a year or so ago that I just don't really like Dickens, like pretty much at all. So I'm not sure how I'm going to get along with this book, but I'm going to read it anyway because, I mean, again, it's Barbara Kingsolver. Her writing is gorgeous regardless. And then the last one on there is The Blue Tent. And this is another one that I saw on Heather's channel. And also Karen read it and just gushed over it as well. I'll link her channel too. So definitely put that on there. And it is a Welsh author. And so I just watched Heather's Dowithon TBR, and so she mentioned this because she's reading another by the author, so I was like, yes. So I'm planning on reading this one in March for Dowithon. So that is my current Storygraph. Let me know if there's anything that you loved and think I would really connect with, and I should put it at the top of my to-read pile, or if there's any you think that I won't really like and maybe I need to delete them because unlike physical TBRs, this one, is no big deal in BD if I take books off of it. So yeah, and do friend me, send me a friend request if you're on Storygraph because as of this morning, or yesterday, I have 2 friends, so I need more friends. So Doris Sander, DorisSander, and I'm thinking to make this a regular feature. on my monthly feature. I meant to do it last month, so there were quite a few books here, and I was not remembering them all very clearly because it had been a few weeks since I put them on there. Months even. So, but hopefully I will get another one up the end of March because I think this is fun. A little Storygraph haul. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back soon, and check the box below. I will try to link all of the channels that I mentioned. Bye.